Hello again, fellow podcaster, and welcome back to Pod Theory. I'm your host, Jason Cercone, and today we're going to talk about 4.5 podcasts that will help you improve your podcast. As a podcaster, you should always be looking for ways to improve your show. The podcasting world is still the wild, wild west, and there are always new developments, new technologies, and new platforms hitting the scene that can bring more value to your production. Additionally, you should never stop looking for inspiration from other podcasters as well as TV and radio personalities. Studying these figures and absorbing how they deliver their message will help you pick up new approaches to how you conduct yourself behind the microphone. Building up your podcasting skills is not unlike anything else you've done in your life. Practice, repetition, and consistency are key. If you want to build muscle, you consistently work out and repeat exercises that lead to the results you seek. If you want to improve your golf swing, you hit the range and repeatedly hit balls while focusing on your technique. If you want to become a better cook, you spend more time working in the kitchen and experimenting with different seasonings, cooking techniques, etc., etc. You get my point. The really cool thing is that we are living in an age where information can be found in seconds. So, in addition to the physical activities it takes to improve ourselves, there is a wealth of knowledge at our disposal. Some good, some bad. But we can never have an excuse for not being educated on a subject because there are podcasts, videos, blogs, websites, white papers, webinars, you name it, all dedicated to the subject that we're focusing on. With podcasting, there are resources as far as your eye can see that can help you with any aspect of your show. From preparation to production to editing, marketing, growing your audience, all you need to do is a quick search and you'll hit the mother lode. That's pretty powerful. But since you've chosen to spend a few minutes with me today, which I greatly appreciate, I'd like to share a few podcasts I think will truly help you hone your skill set. Here are 4.5 podcasts that will help you improve your podcast. And I'll explain the half in a moment. Number 1, call me biased, but there's a little show called Pod Theory that I'm a big fan of. If this is the first episode of Pod Theory that you've listened to, welcome to the party. Make yourself at home. If you've been a loyal listener since the show went live in September of 2020, thank you for being part of the Pod Theory family, and I hope you've been pulling value from each episode. Either way, behind this episode are 115 other episodes designed to help you navigate the podcasting waters. My goal is to help brands develop podcasts that help their businesses grow, but the tips and strategies found within Pod Theory can also help podcasters who use this medium as a hobby too. And a bit of a spoiler alert to bring your way, I'm working on a new format for Pod Theory that's going to bring even more value your way. It's going to take some time to get this dialed in the way I want, but it's going to be awesome for all of us. I can promise you that. So for now, all I can say is stay tuned. Number 2, Podcasting Q&A from Buzzsprout. Now, I've given Buzzsprout some big props in the past on this show, and I'm going to continue to do so today. Podcasting Q&A is a great show for new and veteran podcasters alike. You'll pick up tips and strategies for launching, growing, and monetizing your podcast, as well as how to promote your show on social media. You'll learn better editing practices and much, much more. You can look up Podcasting Q&A on your favorite podcast app and tune in as new episodes go live each and every Monday. Number 3, Podcast Builder Club with Travis Brown. Travis is the beautiful mind behind Poddex, which you've heard me talk about here on the show several times, as Poddex is a sponsor of Pod Theory. Now, quick plug. Visit www.poddex.com today and save 10% on any order of physical Poddex merchandise by using the promo code PODTHEORY at checkout. If Poddex are what get the conversation started, Travis's podcast will help keep the conversation going. His show helps you stay consistent, which, as I've covered numerous times on Pod Theory, is one of the most important elements in all of podcasting. According to Travis, he provides podcast therapy, which will help you keep your head in the game, help you find your voice, and help you grow your audience. His tips and insights will help you push forward when you may feel like throwing in the towel on your show is the only option ahead of you. Podcast Builder Club gets 16 out of 10 and is Extremely recommended. Subscribe to Podcast Builder Club today and check out new episodes every Monday. Number 4, Podcasting for Coaches with Brittany Felix. I recently connected with Brittany in a Facebook group and we got together to record a killer interview about over-editing. That interview will be episode 120 of Pod Theory, and I'm calling the shot right now. You definitely don't want to miss it. And you also don't want to miss Brittany's podcast, Podcasting for Coaches, as I said a second ago. Her show features various personalities from the podcasting world combined with Brittany's years of knowledge and expertise in podcasting to bring you a deep perspective of the medium. Brittany is a firm believer in how powerful podcasting can be for your brand, and the content she delivers will help you launch a successful podcast and keep it going as a primary content strategy for your business. You can learn more about Brittany at podcastingforcoaches.com and find her show with the same name wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes drop every Friday. And finally, the 4.5 is any podcast you listen to. Now, this may come off as a bit trite, but every podcast has its own unique presence and can teach you something new. I can't tell you how many times I've been listening to a new podcast while driving down the road and heard something that made me wish I had thought of it first. Every host can teach you something about how you conduct an interview and carry on a conversation, and every production as a whole can present you with something that could completely change the game for your show. Always keep your ears open for those types of epiphanies. You never know when you may stumble upon something that takes your podcast to the next level. And that's going to wrap up episode 116 of Pod Theory. If our chat put a big smile on your face, please take 30 seconds to visit Apple Podcasts, drop a 5-star rating, and a positive review. As I've shared many times before on past episodes of Pod Theory, reviews help podcasts grow and find the ears of more listeners just like you. If you found some value in today's show, chances are someone else will too. Good talk. I'll see you back here tomorrow. This has been Jason Cercone on Pod Theory.